Welcome to Corey Turner Talks Cars. It's windy out here, so I hope you can hear me okay. But this week, you're going to be joining me this entire week. We're going to be driving this. It's a 2017 Smart Passion 4.2. We're going to find out what is it like to have it as a daily driver and have to use it as our main source of transportation. Before we get this on the road, before I show you what it's like to drive it, before we find out what it's like to have it as a daily driver, and before I show you all the interesting, bizarre features this car has, let's first talk about the history of the Smart car, and let's take a longer look at it. The Smart car was the brainchild of Nicholas Hayek. Nicholas was the CEO of the Swatch watch brand. These were trending lines of watches that were intended to be fun, casual, disposable accessories. They were intended to be your second watch, and that's where they got their name. Swatch came from second, S, and watch, put together, Swatch. Nicholas felt the car industry was overlooking a segment of customers who wanted a small, fun, stylish car that was compact enough to be driven in the city. Early on, Nicholas knew that the cost to design, develop, and produce a car to compete with the industry giants would require far more financial resources than he had. So he decided the best way to bring his Swatchmobile to market was to team up with an established car company. He achieved this by teaming up with Volkswagen, who not only had the knowledge needed, but also the distribution network. Things were looking good until Ferdinand Piëch became the CEO of Volkswagen in 1993. He quickly severed the relationship in favor of Volkswagen's own concept car, later known as the VW Lupo 3L. Nicholas had felt the tide turn against him, and he was already out there talking to other car manufacturers to see who he could partner with. It was announced in 1994 that Daimler-Benz, known for making Mercedes-Benz cars, would join forces and produce the small car. After some disagreements on a suitable name, finally the pairing decided on SMART. This was an acronym for S for Swatch, M for Mercedes, and ART. Put together, SMART, and the car was launched in October of 1998. Fast forward to 2004, when the Smart for2 model was brought to Canada. At first, demand was high, and you could find yourself on a 6-month waiting list to get your hands on the micro car. It did slow down after that. Now, in June of 2006, Daimler Chrysler announced that the Smart would be coming to the United States, and the U.S. Smart car would technically be the second generation of the Smart car. During the first quarter of 2008, Smart cars made their way to U.S. customers through the Penske Automotive Group. They were a dealership holding company and created a new U.S. dealership network for the small car. The Smart for2 was offered with an MSRP of $12,000. Now, waiting time to get delivery of your Smart was up to 12 months. But after that, you could walk into a dealership and buy one right off the showroom floor. The Smart car came in 4 versions: 4.2 base model, the Passion for2, the middle offering, and the 4.2 Passion Cabriolet, which was the high-end model with a powered top and removable upper rails. In 2011, Mercedes-Benz USA took over distribution, marketing, and sales of the Smart brand entirely. Penske Automotive Group was no longer involved. In 2015, as a 2016 model, Smart released the 3rd generation of the Smart for2. The 4.2 Cabriolet, the convertible version, arrived in America in 2016 as a 2017 model. In 2017, Smart announced they would discontinue the gas versions of the car, focusing totally on the electric models and showing their commitment to an all-electric strategy. In 2018, the 10-year anniversary of the Smart coming to the United States was taking place, so they made a limited edition 4.2 Coupe electric drive model, and it went on sale that year. Safety was always a topic of discussion, and it was something the company focused on. Where the first generation Smart car received a 3 out of 5 star rating for the adult occupant protection, the second generation received a 4 out of 5 star rating from the Euro NCAP. In the United States, it received a 4 out of 5 stars for front impact and a 5-star rating for driver side impact. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave it a good rating. In 2009, there was a front offset crash test that put the Smart car against a Mercedes S-Class. In this one test, the car went airborne and it resulted in a poor rating. The Smart car uses a stiff structure, which is marketed as the Trident safety cell, designed to activate crumple zones of the colliding vehicle. This was designed to create as safe as environment as possible and a safety cell around the occupants. After 11 years of being in the United States, Smart announced they were leaving after the 2019 model year. There were several factors that played into this decision, but the slow sales numbers and the high cost of conforming to U.S. regulations meant the Smart wasn't a financially viable car to sell in the U.S. market. It was a car who found a tough time finding its footing in the wide open spaces and highways of the U.S. market. There were cars with better fuel economy and larger cars and ones that had full back seats that made the decision to buy a Smart car a tough one for American buyers. After all, the car was designed for congested, tight city streets to be navigated by drivers who wanted a stylish and very compact car, not really high priorities for the United States buyer. All right, so we're all caught up on the history of this car right here, how it was dreamed up, how it was conceived, how it was produced, how it was designed, and how it was brought to market. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel because the rest of this week, we're gonna be driving this car. I'm gonna show you all about its bizarre features, what it is like, how it compares to the second generation. This is the third generation. We're gonna take it out on the road. I'm gonna take it on the freeway. Let's see what it's like to do 80 plus in this bad boy. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about cars tomorrow. Let's talk about a Smart car tomorrow.